Good afternoon, family. Happy weekend. This is True to the Strat with our weekly watch list video, and we're going to jump straight into it. Just to start off, next week we have a packed week with some red news. Starting with June 2nd, Monday, we have Federal Chair Powell speaking at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Tuesday, we have job openings. On Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims, and on Friday, we have unemployment rate, non-farm employment change, and average hourly earnings month over month. So we have a jam-packed red week coming next week. Just keep that in mind while looking at these setups. To start it off, you're going to be looking at Costco. Now, Costco had earnings, and it did pretty well for earnings. Ended off the week with an outside week, right? With shooter outside week. Now you're looking for that 3-2 continuation to the upside. This one do not have to be a swing. Little disclaimer, you can trade this one for a day trade. I will be looking at weeklies with this. I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. Also, one discrepancy to look at is we are at some equal highs, but I don't see the reason why wouldn't be able to go to all-time highs, especially with its good earnings. I think we can eventually crack 1078.23 and then get that blue sky breakout above. On a daily, we did end in an outside three as well. So again, we're looking for that 3-2 to the upside. See what the 4 hour looking like. Yeah, we did go shooter. So yeah, we're looking for that 3-2 to the upside. I really like Costco. Do not sleep on this one. Let's look at that analyze tab. We're looking at the June 6th. Again, it's going to be a more of a high risk play for bigger portfolios because it is weeklies. Maybe we just want to look at the the 6th, right? We're looking at target 1066. We can hit that by the 5th or the 4th of June. We could be looking at a 127% return on investment. If we can hit all-time highs, that's over a 300% return on investment. Again, we got to hit that by the 5th because after the 5th, those contracts will start to depreciate. So I think we can hit 1066 by the 5th will be a nice 74% return. And 1066 is right there. So, and then we have 1078. Remember, that goes into about 300% return. So I like the way Costco look, especially for a day trade. If you got a larger account, you can always go in next week's to offset some risk. Besides that, please keep eyes on Costco. DKNG, I love this setup as well. Starting with the month, we did trigger 2 down, 2 up month. We did get that pullback, but we're looking for that TTO back to the upside. Let's check out the week. The week did end in an inside week as well. Not only an inside week, but an inside hammer week, sitting on top of some consolidation, aka demand zone as well, or support. And we also have it in the OTE. So you test the swing high to the swing low. We are in that golden area. Again, with a lot of actual signals. So we have a lot of confluence with this one. I'm loving the way this is setting up. Looking at that daily, we have a failed 2 down on a day. So we had a 3, failed 2 down. Now we're looking for that 2-2 rev to the upside. If we look at some hybrid time frames, like the 2-day, you see that 3-2 is there as well, with the failed 2 down. Look at the 3-day, failed 2 down. And if you look at the 4-day, that double hammer with the wicks at the bottom. Again, looking for that 2-2 ref back to the upside. We have targets of 36.66. Previous year close at 37.20, and then finally 38.12. 38.85 will be a home run. Let's check out the analyze tab for this one. And again, we can go with the monthlies. Let's check out the 37s. I like the 36.50s. So you look at the 36.50s. So here we have 36.50s. And again, just looking at those targets, we have 37.20. Which by the ninth, let's see what happens at the ninth. Around the ninth, that would be about a 28% return. We have 38.85. which is all the way at the top. That will complete the TTO back to the upside. And if you look at 38.85, that'd be over 127% return. Remember, this is for monthlies. So that's pretty nice in my opinion. Looking at some June 13th weeklies, you have 187% at 38.85. So again, we really want to hit 38.12 and then get to that 38.85 range. And if we hit 38.12 by the 9th with the 13th expiration, June 13th expiration, that's an 85% return. So I like the risk to reward on this one. I love the way this is setting up. Again, they got stack confluences on the week. Remember, we're going to a new month as well. So you want that 2-up continuation once we take out the previous month high. And this one is looking beautiful. I'm liking this one. Don't hesitate on this as well. Let's look at D-Dog. I've been watching D-Dog for some time now. Checking out the month, we went 2-2 rev month in force. Now we're looking for that 2-up on the month as well. Looking at the weekly, we went 2-1-2 in the week, but we didn't break out fully. We didn't break out that the week after last high at 119.36. We didn't break it, but we would have hoped to break that this week. I'm loving the consolidation. We are sitting on point of control. We've been sitting here for a pretty long time. I believe D-Dog is setting up the rip pretty soon. We have a failed 2 down. All we want to do is take out 119.36, and this one can fly. So all we need to do. This is a long stretch, so one of the targets could be 50% of that bar, of that daily candle, which would be 123.12. Then we get hit 126.64. And then finally get up to 128.31. Let's check out the contracts for this. We got some 13th June weeklies. Again, 132.12. If we hit that by the 9th, that'd be a 48% return. That's decent, in my opinion. Nice little base hit. We got 126.64, 146% return. So 126 is right there. That can happen in 1 and 2 moves, 1 or 2 days. If we finally we got 128.31, that's almost a 200% return. And yeah, 128.31 is right there. Like this can happen within a day or two if we could get that nice move on D-Dog. But again, you can go with the next weeks or the monthlies to offset some risk. And the monthlies around the same percentage wise as well. This is more so for larger accounts, but the risk to reward is also good. I wouldn't cut these as long as it stay above the previous week low at 115.18. Again, loving D-Dog, nice consolidation. Want that continuation on the week and the month. Yeah, 4-time frame continuity across the board. Let's check. Let's get it with that one. All right, Google. Google been trying to break out lately. Let's check the month. Since we're going to that new month. So you want that 2-up continuation on the month. We got that 2-2 rev and false. We pulled back a little bit at 176.77. Now on the week, we got that inside week. We are in the doji, so that means a little bit of indecision. But what I like is we did close green. On a daily, we closed as a hammer as well. So we got a nice actual signal on the daily. That daily low of 167.44 is holding support or demand zone. So what used to be supply is now holding demand. So if anybody is confused by that, if you look at this range here, this range used to be a supply where price used to sell off. And now we turned that into demand in which we hammered from. So we swept that. And now we're looking for that upside. We want to take out the previous month high of 176.77. Then we want to tap 178.74. And then eventually want to get back up to 183.12. Let's check out the contracts for that. Again, we going with next week or monthlies. The best bet will be the monthlies. 180 calls for 159. Got the 176.77. By the 9th will be 47%. Then we could put these to the 13th as well. 178.74 be a 55% return, and 183.12 is a 200% return. Remember, 183.12 is only right there. But if y'all look at this really good, like this can happen. I know I'm saying this, but this can happen in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, within 1 week if we get tech to agree. So that's why we loving the risk to reward on that. And again, those are monthlies. Those are monthlies. 211. So the risk to reward is crazy on this, especially with the time on the contracts. That means this can consolidate a few more days if it needs to. But as long as you get to that 183.12, looking at a nice return on investment with that one, right? And let's say we get above 183.12. Well, now we're looking at the previous year close at 189.30, or we look at the top of this chop right here, which we can see some turbulence happen in that area. So 185 just gets better, right? So if I put in 185, that's almost 300. And finally, 189, it's 500% return on monthlies, y'all. That's not far away. Keep eyes on Google. This could rock into next week as well. Hims was on the last watch list. It did pop by the end of the week. Let's look at that. Start with the month on Hims. So 4-time frame continuity to the upside with Hims. On the week, we have a nice hammer inside week. Again, we've been running to the upside. It ran for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and it finally got that pullback. So now we're looking for that pullback just for it to go right back up. And we're going to take out the previous month high or May's high at $63.67. On a daily, we also close as a 3. Let's check out the hybrid time frames. Check out the 2 days. Check out the 3 days. So the 3-day has a 2, 1, 2. So we want that 2 up continuation. And finally, the 4-day is just a normal 2 down, 2 up reversal. So yes, I think Hims could hit 64.82 within this week or next week. We want a TTO. Again, get above that previous month, that previous week high and that previous month open. And then we're going to finally hit 65.89. Let's check out the contracts. So we have, looking for this move to happen at least by the 9th. So June 13th, expiration for 60 calls, 62.80. It's only right there. That can happen in one day. 62.80 we tapped in one day. But again, we want to look for worst case scenario. We want to give ourselves the highest probability of hitting these trades with the lowest risk. Then we got 65.89. That's over 138% return. I do believe there will be some turbulence around 63, 67, and 65.89, mainly because these are equal highs. This is where price been selling off. So short-term swing on this one. This could be a day trade as well. Let's move on to some utilities. AEP, Duke, and NEE started running, but I've been having eyes on AEP. This is a sleeper one. Doesn't have full time frame continuity just yet, but I love the way the week is setting up. We got a lot of wicks at the bottom in this demand zone, so that's why I like AEP. Aside from that, we do have a hammer on the week, failed 2 down hammer at that. So we want to look for that 2-2 rev. We want to eventually hit that previous year high of 105.18. Then we want to hit 106.50, 107.32, and then finally 107.88. The daily also have that consolidation, and also we sitting on point of control. So a lot of stack confluences there. I believe we're in OTE. No, we sit on top of the 50%, but we are in a weekly OTE as well. Got that weekly OTE is the swing low, the swing high, another swing low here, the swing high, and this current weekly candle is sitting on top of the 50%. So love the way we holding the support, loving the wicks in the demand zone, loving the actual signal in the fail 2 down on the week, which give me conviction that this trade is ready to move up. Let's check out the hybrid time frames for this one. 2-day, nice 2-2 rev for the continuation. 3-day, nice 3-2. And then finally the 4-day. Got a 3-2 continuation to the upside. So that's why I really, really like this trade. Be patient with this one. It is utilities. Let's get that analyze tab. Go with the monthlies, 105 Cs. And I got the risk to reward. We got 106.50. By the ninth, 106.50 is only right there. That can happen in one day or 2 days. 106.50. Expect some turbulence around 106.50. We could get some pullback before it heads back up. Then you got 107.32. That's 118% return. And finally, you got 107.88 over 100, almost 150% return. All this have to do is move to the upside starting day one, and these contracts will start to pay immediately. So keep your eyes on this one. Don't sleep. KO was on last week's watch list as well with a beautiful monthly setup. Got that 3-1. We want that 3-1-2 to go into June. And then finally on the week, we got a 1-3-2 on the week. So stack, not only stack confluences, but we got crazy strat setups on Coke as well. All we need to do is move. For the past 2 weeks, it's been consolidating, defending this 70-50 range, creating these wicks. So they've been buying it back up. And then finally on a daily, we just been consolidating and finally got that 2-2 rep to the upside. So you just want that continuation to happen. We want to see this pop to the upside pretty soon. It's been consolidating for quite some few days. Check the 3-day really quickly. Just got that 3-2 or finally the 4-day. Yeah, so the 4-day is presenting a 3-2 to the upside. So it can be calls above 72.37, or you can have calls above this 3, which is 72.47. We're going to eventually hit the targets of 73.48 and then 73.95 and then finally 74.38. So go with the monthlies with this one. We got 73.48. 73.48 is right there. That can happen in one day. Literally, that can happen in one day, right? And again, it's the ninth. This is the ninth. We expected these targets by the day of June 9th, and that's still a 65% return for a one-day move. Then you got 74.38, 151. I hope y'all seeing a crazy risk to reward on this. We got 73.95, 100, and if we hit that, I think 79 is a random one. But crazy risk to reward, all this have to do is move. Once we enter, all this have to do is move. Again, as soon as we hit 73.48, that's already 65. Could take your money and run if you wanted to right there. Always watch out for equal highs. Just always watch out for equal highs. Always watch out for where price is selling off. You could get some turbulence in that range, or you could get some pullback in that range. But as long as we start to just move, these contracts will pay. Another one I like is ABBV. I love the way ABBV is setting up. This was on last week's watch list, but it didn't pop. One discrepancy is this will open as a double inside month, and this month can play as a mother bar. If it does, it might chop some more. So that's the small disclaimer. If not, the week is setting up beautifully. We have a 2-1-2 week that triggered and then pull back. So now we want to trigger the 2 up on this current week, previous week, and finally get up to 195.89. The daily have a bunch of consolidation on it with a 2-1-2 actionable signal that closed on Friday and then closed as a hammer as well. So again, a lot of consolidation. This is also a bullish pennant as well. It's also a pennant as well that's just waiting to explode. Got that low, got that high, got that lower high. I mean higher low. Then you got the highs right there. And this one is just waiting to pop. ABBV is waiting to pop. Please keep eyes on this one. It's been curling up for a while, consolidating for a while, compressing for a while. And you know how we do it. We like to look for those explosive setups. So keep eyes on this one, right? Again, we got the targets of 192.88, and then we got 195.82, and then we got 198.98. Let's check that out. Go with the monthlies, 195 calls for 195. Got the 195.82. Got the charts again. 195.82 is only right there. Let's go back to the daily real quick. So again, that can happen in 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, 2 days, right? You don't need a whole month for that to happen, but again, we get monthly just in case some fuckery happen. And they've got 198.98, and that's over a 200% return. This is another setup where it just have to move. It just have to move. Just gotta get that pop. Don't be afraid to enter. Once it trigger, enter. As long as it holds, I give it the 180.25, depending on your risk, or 183.18. As long as it hold that range, this play is still intact, right? It doesn't have to pop first week of noticing it. You just gotta be a little bit patient. We've seen those other setups go crazy after a week and a half, after noticing the initial setup, right? Sometimes it's just not ready just yet, but it's getting ready. So pay attention. The rest of these is kind of like a bonus. Got ABT. This is more like a bonus one, y'all. I don't trade ABT a lot, but I did notice the setup. I noticed the compression and the bullish pennant on this one as well. The week have a 2-1-2 up potential. In the month have a 2 up continuation potential. And the daily, again, this one is just building up as well. If I look at the hybrid time frames, it's a 2-day. This is a 3-day. Nothing crazy on a 2-day or 3-day. Check. Yeah. So just to a continuation. Again, this one is consolidating a lot. It's a bonus because I don't trade this all the time, but I don't want to ignore the setup. First target 136.80. Second target is 139.15. So 139.15 is there. If you hit that by the ninth, that's 100% return. Right? And then you got 141. 141 be at almost a 200% return. You could push that by the 13th as well. Still some nice percent return on investment on that one as well. You could play around with these contracts. Look at next week's. This is like kind of that's too spready. I wouldn't go with a weekly with that one. But again, the monthlies is the best bet. Just a bonus one. Just a bonus one. Pfizer, I don't like playing Pfizer, but Pfizer's another one as well that's just setting up. I can't ignore the setup. I just can't. Monthly has an inside hammer. It's still red, so you could potentially get a 2-1-2 month to the upside come June. And the week has a 2-1-2 setup as well. And finally, the daily, lots of compression and consolidation on the daily. Also a bullish pennant. That's something that we look for. And we sit on top of an OTE. Not only that, last week was consolidating. Look at the consolidation on the daily. And if you look at the hybrid time frames, at the 2-day, got a 2-1 on the 2-day. If you look at the 3-day, got another 2-1 on the 3-day, which is actual signal. And on the 4-day, you have a double inside. So this could pop. This could pop. I don't want to sleep on it. So yes, if we do get that 2366 trigger, I will enter, no hesitation. You have targets of 2433, 2448, 2461. Orange is the quarter, red is the year, and yellow is the month, which means this range will pull back. This range will pull back for sure, for sure. Or should I just go? That range will pull back. Looking at the contracts, I only will go to June's 38 super cheap, 2433. 2433 is right there. That's a 48% return. By the 13th, we put the 9th. That's a 68% return. Then you have 2461. That's over 100. Then you have 2448. That's over 90. So 2461. Again, it's right there, 2488. So it just got to tap this zone. If it get above that zone, these contracts will go even more crazy. But I'm expecting that zone to be a little issue. Again, that zone is also was support here. So these major time frames always, price always has memory. So that major zone might struggle to flip back into support before it heads higher. So just keep that in mind with PFE. PFE have a habit of just popping and dropping the next morning. Just be on the lookout for that. But other than that, this setup is crazy. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate on this setup. All my setups I'm looking for them to be explosive. That's how I do. Next bonus is BP oil. let's check it out. So, or you have an inside week, and then we have that. So we've been running, it's been running up, pull back. So we're gonna catch that TTO back to the upside by triggering the high of the previous week. And then the daily is sitting on point of control, OTE, and 311 double inside, nothing but just consolidation. Consolidation create opportunity, nothing but just building pressure there. So this BP is very, very explosive. You can use a stop at 28.63. Not only is very, very explosive, but the contracts pay very good. You just look at the monthlies for 47 cents, cheap. So don't sleep on this one, please. 30C, right? Again, we want to hit 29.56. Do we want to eventually hit 29.86? So if you play around with that, 29.86, a little mid 23. But once you get above that 30, the price of 30, which is right here, once price start to go 30.18 or 30.55, that's when things start to pick up for these contracts. 30.18, 70%, right? About a knife. And then you got 30.55. So once you get above that 30, you into the hundreds on the cons. I mean, if y'all want to go with next week's as well, feel free to do so. Next week's will pay very, very nice. But I want to get this as much time as possible. So I just rock with the monthlies. They super cheap. This another one that just gotta move and it's gonna pay. It's gotta move. As long as we get back up to this previous week high, this high is up here, which has been consolidating, right? It must be ready. It ain't been going low, it's been consolidating. So this could gap up. Don't sleep. And then you got gaps to fill to the upside as well. So this could potentially go all the way back to 33.79 if y'all want to just, right? Let's look at that. 33.79. 706% return, but let's not cheat. 13th. Shit, if you hit that by expiration, that stay at 700%. So if you was to hit 33.79 by expiration, that is a guaranteed 700% return. This might not need a whole month to get back up there. So that's why I like BP. Again, this BP, you zoom out, price as memory. It's been holding this range. It's known to hold this range based off previous price action. And that's where we currently sitting. Not only we currently sitting there, but we currently consolidating there. And that's why this setup has my attention. So got a 3-1-2 on a 2-day. Got a 2-1-2 on a 3-day. And on a 4-day, you just got a simple 2-up. But double inside daily, 3-1-2. Don't sleep on that one. Matter of fact, that's not even a bonus. That's in the main joint. Let's get that. Let's get that. Last but not least, NIM. We've been smacking NIM left and right. NIM did consolidate last week. And it also got a nice monthly setup. So we got a 2-1-2 month to the upside that we want. On the week, we got a 2-1-2 on the week. We still want to target that 57.16. We still want to target the 55.76. I want to really take out this 57.16. If we do get some bad news, or if the market don't like what Powell say and every other ticker drops, then the gold NIM should go up. And that's why we should pay attention to this play. The daily consolidate, pull back just a little bit, held 51.77. So you want that 2-2 rev going back to the upside. And again, we got our targets. So let's check out the Analyze tab. Go with the monthlies on this one. We got the 55s for 81 cents. And we got 55.74, which won't pay that much. Oh, I'll put it on the 20th. So let me readjust. Put that back on the 13th. So again, we want to hit these targets by the 13th. I'm really interested in getting above 55. So we got 55.74. 55.74 is only right there. And if we hit that, that's an 89% return. They got 57.16, which is those highs that we want to really target. And that's over 200% return. So that wraps up my weekly watch list. If you got any questions, hit me up. Last week we watched this went crazy. Let's see what this one do. All right. Peace out and have a good rest of your weekend.